I was working in New York on next to the Empire State Building. We had our head office, and we were standing discussing when they came running in and saying, "A plane has hit the Twin Towers," and we thought the little helicopter has sort of scrapped it. But so we continued our meeting, and then came the second flight, and then chaos broke loose.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I was at Columbia Law School and business school at the same time, and that was my first year of business school. I had moved to Jersey City, which was just cheaper in terms of rent, right across the Hudson River from the Twin Towers, and I could see it getting onto the PATH train, every day, and it was fine. A beautiful day. Get on the train. Turns out it was one of, or maybe the last PATH train that they let go into the World Trade Center. You know this story, but
I know.
As I was thinking about it, we get into the World Trade Center, maybe 8 minutes later, nobody's waiting on the platform to go back, open the doors, alarm bells are ringing, go up to the sort of first concourse, it's empty, even all the kiosks, long escalator up, and then emergency response had not even arrived yet. So there was one police officer telling us to go out of what was the north side of the building, which is where the first plane hit. And we could see the hole, had no idea what was going on, just really, I would say, intense, scary, didn't know if there was like a terrorist bomb, it felt like maybe, I don't know if something had blown up. We just didn't really know. But the idea was to just go up to Chambers Street, because Cortlandt Street is that World Trade Center stop. So skip there, get on the train, and it goes from pure chaos on the street level to nobody having a clue what was happening, underground. And it wasn't until we got up closer to Columbia, maybe 96th Street, that we started to hear.
A scary day. I remember we continued with our meetings even after it happened. We didn't know what to do. And then we had a bomb threat to the store, which was under the office. And they just called and said, there is a bomb in the store. And we didn't really know what to do. And we said, what happens now? We need to evacuate. And a little bit later, there was another call and saying, they just said, tick, 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 boom, and the bomb goes off and hang up.
Wow.
That's when we emptied the office. So left were only me and the security manager.
Wow.
He had his son-in-law in one of the towers, and I had my wife in emergency care in Sweden. So we stayed close to. I mean, the phones were down, so the only way to communicate were through mails. It was a very, very, very scary couple of days in a hotel room with CNN going, night and day. Because probably you were, as well as we were, convinced that this is only the beginning. Why would you take such preparations and crash 4 planes? And I mean, there were 6 or 8 planes out of control where they had no communication with. And later, we thought they will do something with gas or water or something. So there will come more. But luckily enough, knock on wood. I remember flying back from New York, maybe 5 days later, first flight, and totally chaos. Airports were crowded, and finally they got the flight who actually was leaving. But it was so chaotic that it was only half full and absolutely no security.
Wow.
Nothing. They didn't ask us, they didn't check, there were no, only tickets.
Well, around the same time as we're talking about, you mentioned your wife being ill in Sweden at the time, and I don't know if you want to talk about that, but that just given your crazy schedule and your daughter was around 8 at the time.
Yeah, 7, 8. And it
kind of changed everything.
Of course. Now we have had a 20 years long relationship that was very close to perfect, and never any fights, big fights, never any breakups. And and had a beautiful life. We shared life and shared our all duties what we had in a very nice way and communicative. And she became ill and passed away the year a bit in September. So she passed away in May, June, the year after. And I, of course, had to. I was working with in the US, but also with the management group for the H&M, with the CEO and CFO, and had to localize that down in south of Sweden. So I moved to Copenhagen, where you can commute daily.
I imagine at that time you just don't even have time to really grieve. You're working and you got to take care of your daughter. Like, how do you deal with that?
No, it is. Everything becomes unimportant, and you realize what's important in life, and then that's a life lesson you have to bring with you. But you just have to cope. If all kind of thoughts go through your head over months, of course, and I was lucky in two ways. One, of course, that I had my daughter, who gave me a reason to be strong and to survive and to go on living and taking care of things. And then I had a fantastic employer who gave me time off and do whatever I wanted for as long as I wanted. So I was off for half a year. And they just told me, we would love you to come back. I think it could be good for you, but don't feel forced. Stay home, full salary, everything, as long as you need. No questions asked. And that was super support. And that created a loyalty to the company as well, of course, because if you feel taken care of, you do the same back. So that was good. And then I had a fantastic daughter that I needed to take care of. And at the certain point, after a couple of weeks, there was so much to deal with and mistreatment and people not acting as they should. And you have to decide, do I want to go backwards with my life and trying to get right and get things, money back or whatever? Or do I just drop everything and go forward? Try to be, if not optimistic, at least seeing the possibilities. So that was this easy choice because it was not for me, it was for the family. So for her, I said, if I'm going to be a father, I have to be in a good mood. I have to be able to smile. I have to be able to laugh. So not forgetting, but letting go. Letting go of all the bad things or bad feelings and trying to go forward and see opportunities instead. And you don't do that. You have to grieve. And I was commuting to Copenhagen, which is a 45-minute drive one way.
Right.
So those 1.5 hours every day was a very good time to reflect on things and feel sorry about my daughters, feeling sorry about her family and myself.